Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Choda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn a little bit more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Also, if you're not a subscriber yet, please consider gently tapping that subscribe button and ignite that notification button. The name of our channel is Ignition Time. This way you'll get instant notifications from our channel going forward. Now, US Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin did speak today at the Milken Institute's Global Conference, their 2020 conference, and he said some things that were indicative of where things stand right now. He was actually asked to comment on the president's turnaround, the president's about face, if you will, on the stimulus negotiations, and to use the interview as exact words, Speaker Pelosi's meltdown on TV last night. Let's hear what the US Treasury Secretary had to say, all the efforts he's putting in. Very tough situation for him and, more importantly, for millions of our fellow Americans, my viewers and subscribers who are struggling to pay rent, put food on the table, and keep the lights on. But let's hear directly from US Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin about what's going on now in terms of the status of the negotiations, what are the potential holdups, and the probability of taking $130 billion in unused funds and allocating it towards a paycheck protection program. This is not enough money for stimulus checks. I just want to make sure my viewers and subscribers are clear about that. But let's hear what US Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin had to say. Let's roll the tape.
The issue of a negotiations over a further stimulus package. A week ago, the president said no more negotiations, pulled you out of those negotiations, said didn't want any more negotiations. However, there do seem to be more discussions going on. Yesterday, many of us saw Nancy Pelosi, House Speaker, in something of a meltdown, I think it's fair to say, on TV when asked about where we were in the negotiations. Can you just give us an update and explain what is going on right now? Are you talking to the Democrats in the House? Are you talking to Republicans? Just give us a sense of where we are with these discussions.
Well, Jerry, it's good to be back with you. It's been a long time since we were together in Davos in January. And as you recall at the dinner, I didn't predict this, but I said, can you imagine what the risks to the world are if this virus spreads around the world? And we've seen this. As it relates to the status of the discussions, I spent an hour speaking to the speaker this morning. We had a comprehensive discussion on a lot of issues. Mark Meadows and I had a conference call with Mitch McConnell and the Senate Republicans over the weekend. We spent over 2 hours with them, getting very good feedback on a range of issues. As you said, last week, the president instructed me to stop negotiating because we were too far apart. We then started talking about an airlines-only bill, which we had a lot of bipartisan support for. Unfortunately, the speaker was not willing to move forward with an airlines-only deal. We continue to have discussions and try to compromise on a broader package. I will say from our standpoint, the all or nothing approach doesn't make sense. There's $130 billion of money that we have not spent that we could spend tomorrow for additional PPP money for small businesses, giving those companies a second check, which are very important, but we will continue to simultaneously try to reach a comprehensive package.
Now, let me give my viewers and subscribers the bottom line. This is the key takeaway from this 30 plus minute interview with US Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin today. And you'll see this article on your screen from the Washington Post. Mnuchin says new economic deal unlikely before the election, although the talks with House Speaker Pelosi continue. This is just unfortunate, and the Treasury Secretary suggested that politics was getting in the way of an outcome. Let me know if you agree with this assertion from the White House, from the US Treasury Secretary, as to whether politics is getting in the way of a large stimulus package, close to a $2 trillion stimulus package, which is necessary for us. This is what Mnuchin said. He said, I'd say at this point, getting something done before the election and executing on that would be difficult, just given where we are. That's what he said in this interview. And he was asked whether Democrats are unwilling to make a deal because they don't want to give the president a win, a political win, 3 weeks before the election. This is what Mnuchin said. I think that is definitely part of the reality. That's definitely an issue. Wow, pretty strong words indeed. Mnuchin also said, but the president is very focused on when he wins, we will need to do more. So that's part of the reason to continue to work on this. The clock will not stop. So I just want to be clear about where things stand right now. U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin had a 1-hour conversation with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi earlier today, and the two have continued to negotiate, even though House Speaker Pelosi has wanted more revisions in the $1.8 trillion package, and even though it looks like the Republican-led Senate is not going to support such a large stimulus package. President Trump recently called for a deal in a Twitter post, and he said, I quote, "Go big or go home." Those are the words from the president. In the meantime, we did get a response from House Speaker Pelosi's camp. Drew Hamill, who's a spokesman for House Speaker Pelosi, said, and you'll see the tweet on your screen, the Speaker and Secretary Mnuchin spoke this morning by phone at 9:30 a.m. for approximately 1 hour. I mean, I'm thinking exactly what you're thinking. What are you talking about? What exactly are you speaking about when millions of our fellow Americans are struggling to put food on the table, struggling to keep the lights on, struggling to pay rent? I mean, why are you guys still talking? Why is there not a consensus by this point? But Drew continued, in response to proposals sent over the weekend, the two spent time seeking clarification on language, which was productive. One area of disagreement continues to be that the White House lacks an understanding of the need for a national strategic testing plan. So that has been a consistent position from the Democrats. The Speaker believes we must reopen our economy and schools safely and soon, and scientists agree that we must have a strategic testing plan. You'll see this tweet on your screen from Drew Hamill. Staff will continue to exchange paper and the two principals will speak again tomorrow. So that is, those are comments from Drew Hamill, the spokesman for Speaker Pelosi. Now, I want to be clear, the White House and the Democrats, meaning U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and House Speaker Pelosi, have agreed on several areas, including a new round of $1,200 stimulus checks, but they've remained far apart on funding for state and local aid. And U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin did say that he has provided, $300 billion in state and local aid, but this is still not where the Democrats want it to be, which is $436 billion. Now, I just want to be clear that Democrats oppose the liability protections that the administration wants in the deal. So that's another area of contention. I want to be clear that U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin criticized the focus that House Speaker Pelosi had on a comprehensive deal. He said, I quote, "From our perspective, we could have immediate help to many different parts of the economy now." Again, from our perspective, we could have immediate help to many different parts of the economy now. And he said that Congress should act immediately to help specific sectors. Now, as you know, certain sectors like travel, leisure, hospitality, and entertainment have been badly impacted as a result of this pandemic and could take years to recover. Airlines also, which is part of the travel industry, are now seeing massive furloughs, massive layoffs after federal aid expired a few weeks ago. And keep in mind that both sides had discussed a potential standalone airline bill, but House Speaker Pelosi then rejected that idea because there was a backlash from some unions and some Democrats who were questioning why is it that airlines should only get help? Why not have a comprehensive package? And over the weekend, U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows did call on Congress to redirect $130 billion of unspent money from the CARES Act towards another round of the Paycheck Protection Program intended to help small business and hopefully prevent further job losses while negotiations continue on a broader stimulus effort. Now, House Speaker Pelosi, on her part, has stood firm. I did a detailed analysis of her interview on CNN yesterday, and you can watch that on our channel. But it doesn't look like the Democrats are budging. As far as the Senate Republicans are concerned, many Republican senators have said they are opposed to a $1.8 trillion stimulus. In fact, Senator Marsha Blackburn went so far as to call it the death knell for the Republican Party. So I don't think that there's going to be a lot of support amongst Republican senators for a $1.8 trillion package. Speaking of support, there is support for a limited bill. In fact, the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell intends to try and advance a narrow, approximately $500 billion bill next week when the Senate returns on Monday, October 19th, where it's very likely to encounter opposition from the Democrats. He did try the same thing last month, also with very little success. So, Senate Republicans are very opposed to this. They did hold a conference call over the weekend with the U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and they made their opposition, they made their concerns about the $1.8 trillion package very, very clear. That's where things stand right now, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll include a link to all our sources also in the description section below. If you learned something new from this video, please consider sharing it with friends and family. I do want you to know that every day that goes by, we are exploring the probability of A, no stimulus before the election. B, depending on the outcome of the election, if President Trump wins the election, if Republicans retain control of the Senate, then there will be a strong push for stimulus, because that is what the president wants. However, if former Vice President Joe Biden becomes president and we continue to have a Republican majority Senate, then the odds of a stimulus will actually decline. But if on the other hand we have former Vice President Joe Biden who becomes president, if he becomes president, and then if we have a Democratic-led Senate, then we could see a potentially larger stimulus in January after the inauguration of former Vice President Joe Biden, if he wins on the 20th of January. These are the thoughts, these are the comments, these are the predictions from market analysts on Wall Street. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping that I have good news to report to you, but as you know by now, my goal is to report honest news, is to report the truth and not give you any false hope. I don't think that the bill that the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is going to introduce in the Senate next week is going to amount to anything. But at this point in time, almost everything that's happening is indeed symbolic. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate you. If you learned something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. I would really, really appreciate that. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Please consider subscribing and enabling notifications. That's your vote of confidence in me and the efforts of my team and all the work that goes into this channel. That would mean a lot to us. Also, please share this video with friends and family members so we can spread the word and grow our community with honest, transparent news. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. Now, keep in mind, you can get on our SMS list. Just get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000, and you'll get added to our SMS alerts list. Now, you can also get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you'll get on our email list. You can opt out of the SMS list or the email list at any point in time that you want. Now, keep in mind that sometimes YouTube does not send out notifications on time. Sometimes there's a delay. So all you have to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. Just bookmark that page on your browser and you'll be able to view our videos at any point in time that you want. So this way you're not dependent on notifications. You can follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. And you can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing. Please enable notifications so you get instant updates from us going forward. Please gently tap that like button, gently ignite that like button, because remember, the name of our channel is Ignition Time. Once again, we release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. And please share this video with friends and family members. Don't forget to also comment below, because the comments from our growing community are incredibly valuable, and often the community, the collective insight of the community is greater than what I can share with you, because real-time breaking news alerts are shared by our community members, and our community is growing rapidly and is very respectful, and we're learning a lot from each other. So once again, please click like, please subscribe. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.